In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons.
Long, long ago, before the age of fire, there was the age of ancients. An age ruled by the everlasting dragons, immortal creatures, beings whose flesh were made of stone, who lived in massive arch trees. In this timeless age, nothing died because nothing was ever truly born with life. This is all what existence was like in the age of ancients. At least until fire appeared.
And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark.
It wasn't until the first flame that all life could appear. All life, crawling from the dark, reached into the fire to gain a soul, with the strongest of them having Lord souls. Among the first people to get a Lord soul, Grave Lord Nito, the first of the dead, was one of them, with the power to bring death and disease onto others. Another was the Witch of Izalith and her Daughters of Chaos, one of which whom would create pyromancy. And Gwyn, Lord of Sunlight, among the strongest and most influential of all the original gods. And last but not least, the Furtive Pygmy, the ancestor to all humans in this universe, and the bearer of the Dark Soul. Even though the in-game cinematic shows a sudden change, a decent amount of time actually passes since we have whole kingdoms and cultures rising. As time passed, the lords grew strong, eventually getting bold enough to challenge the ancient dragons, in order to start a new age with them at the top.
With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons.
Everyone from the Knights of Lord Gwyn, the Daughters of Izalith, and even humans played a part. However, despite all their strength, they were barely a match for the ancient dragons.
We knights fought valiantly, but for every one of them, we lost 70 of our own. Exhilaration, pride, hatred, rage. The dragons teased out our dearest emotions. Thou will understand one day.
If your name starts with the first 26 letters of the alphabet, you may be asking, well, if the dragons were so strong, how on Lordran did the original lords win? Well, that's where Sif the Scaleless comes in. Sif is an ancient dragon, born albino, and without any scales. Without scales, Sif was born mortal, which led him to grow jealous and envious of his dragon kin. As a result, when war broke out, Sif made the decision to side with the lords, teaching Gwyn the secret of the ancient dragon's immortality, their stone scales.
Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Sif the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more.
In the end, the lords rose triumphantly over the ancient dragons, officially bringing an end to the Age of Ancients. Practically all of the ancient dragons were hunted down and killed. Very few ancient dragons lived into the Age of Fire, with many dragons afterwards only being descendants, being far weaker than their ancient predecessors. Though there are exceptions, with some rivaling the strength of their ancient predecessors. Either way, with the Age of Ancients at an end, the Age of Fire was able to start, with the lords now at the very top. But one day, like all fire, it will start to fade.